My name is Kathleen Daniels, and this is Lesson 5. Lesson 5, Punishment versus Discipline. This is in conjunction with a course at Brigham Young University, Idaho, called Teaching Family Life Education. So children will misbehave, be disobedient, and make bad choices. As frustrating and difficult as this can be, it is part of a child's learning process. It is important to keep this in mind when deciding the appropriate reactions and consequences. There are many different approaches to discipline, just as there are many viewpoints on what is considered acceptable behavior. Parents' views are based on their own culture, beliefs, and family values. This lesson does not address these differences. However, the techniques and skills taught in this lesson are applicable in every family situation. This lesson introduces discipline techniques that have been proven to have a positive influence on children's behavior. A parent's primary goal is to teach their children and help them become competent adults. A parent's influence does not come from forcing their will upon a child or from inflicting harsh punishments. It comes from the strength of the parent-child relationship. Relationship-based discipline practices strengthen this parent-child bond, as well as provide children opportunities to learn self-regulation, to gain problem-solving skills, and to develop resilience. What is punishment? The definition of punishment: the infliction of a penalty or retribution for an offense. The word punishment is often used when talking about parenting, and it might result in a child's temporary compliance. However, punishment is built on the premise that in order to make children do or act better, a parent must first make them feel worse. Punishment can damage the parent-child relationship. The child might come to view the parent as an enforcer to be avoided. Making a child angry, hurt, and powerless may keep them away. Unintended consequences of punishment. A child learns that making others feel angry, hurt, and powerless is an acceptable way to solve problems. The child focuses on the punishment or ways to avoid it, which might involve or motivate them to lie. A child becomes self-focused, thinking only about what will happen to them instead of considering the well-being of others. The child learns to suppress their feelings and emotions because these have never been acknowledged nor addressed. The 4 R's of punishment: resentment, revenge, rebellion, and retreat. What is discipline? The dictionary definition of discipline: the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior. Other words that are similar include direct, regulate, teach, and instruct. Teaching through positive discipline. Children learn to make good choices by making decisions. A voice and a choice. A child should participate in decision-making. This will help them develop decision-making skills. Positive discipline is solution-oriented. Focus on positive alternatives, not on the behavior. A poor choice is a behavior, not an identity. There's no blame or shame. Help children find their own solutions. Teach children self-reliance, and this develops their self-esteem. Positive discipline focuses on the feelings and emotions that trigger the behavior instead of just focusing on the behavior itself. A child's emotions are always valid, and do not argue with emotions. Listen, don't lecture. Set the limits, but then don't be offended. Conversations where you do 90% of the talking is not a conversation. The 4 R's of logical consequences. Number 1, related. The consequences relate to the actual behavior. 2, respectful. There's no blame, shame, or pain. 3, reasonable. This is from both parents' and child's perspective. 4, revealed. Consequences are outlined in advance. On the website of the Center for Disease Control, or the CDC, they offer positive parenting tips for all age groups of children. For example, this is their positive parenting tips for toddlers at the age of 2 to 3 years. They suggest setting up a special time to read books, To encourage your children to take part in pretend play, play in the parade, follow the leader, or help them explore things around them. Take them on walks or wagon rides. Teach them simple songs like Itsy Bitsy Spider or other childhood rhymes. Give your child attention and praise when they follow instructions and show positive behaviors. Teach them the acceptable ways to show that they're upset. Parenting tips for middle childhood from 6 to 8 years. Show your children affection, recognize their accomplishments, help them develop a sense of responsibility, maybe through household chores. Talk with them about their school, friends, and other interests. Help them set their own achievable goals. Encourage your children to think about possible consequences prior to actions. Be clear about what behavior is okay and which are not okay. Get involved in their school. Praise your child for good behavior. Don't focus on traits. Something you should say is you worked hard to figure this out rather than you are smart. Support them in taking on new challenges. In conclusion, children's mistakes and unwise choices are learning experiences for them and teaching opportunities for parents. The primary goal or role of parents is to teach their children values and to prepare them to become productive, competent adults. Using positive discipline helps children develop their self-discipline, gain problem-solving skills, learn how to manage their emotions, and become more resilient. Thank you for listening. Here's some resources if you want further information.